Well, hello there, terrible warriors. Welcome. Hello. Welcome back to our live stream. It's me. Hi there. It's Justin, coming to you live from the place that we record our podcast in. And I'm not alone. We're starting a little bit late. We had some technical difficulties, so here we are. Thanks for joining us here. No quick preamble show. No 15 minutes of song for you to get in and line up. We're just gonna get started. We're back to doing our actual play of our Shadowrun campaign. I think this is like episode 5 or 6. Ken knows, and I'll bring them all in. Of course, I'm not alone. I am joined in the studio by our illustrious players. There they are. They're coming in. It's Mike. Hey. It's Ken. It's Alex, and they are now on your screen. Boom. There they are. Look at that. Hey, Mike, how are you? We are very live, like extremely live. And let me also introduce our bot who records these games. Because there is a plan. That's him.
Now recording.
Oh, dang. That bot is there because there's a plan that maybe when this run is done on Twitch, we will edit them and put them into a podcast. We'll see. It sounds like a lot of work, so I don't know. I'll hold them ransom, maybe. Put them up as a Patreon Express tier or something. I have no idea. For now, this is what we do. You and I here every 2 weeks. We come here on Twitch, and if you want to catch up on the archive of the show, well, that's what Patreon comes into at patreon.com/terriblewarriors. Everyone at the $5 higher level, just like you would get access to our debrief episodes and all that throughout the summer, you've gotten access to the archive of this show, so you can stay up to date on how that is going on. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with Terrible Warriors. I will get to that at the end. An hour from now, I'll tell you what to expect over the next 6 weeks, because it's big. It's going to be fun. It's cool. There's a lot going on. I'm going to have people here in studio next time we are playing Shadowrun, so that's going to be kind of fun. Anyways, hey, everyone. It's not all about me. It's all about you, right? How you been there, Mike, as I look up above me?
My hovercraft is still full of eels.
Oh,
so
good.
That's a thing.
Good. Eel craft. And then up there on the corner, how are you there, Ken? How you doing?
Pretty good. Things, some things are messy.
Going to jail.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of plans for the Extra Life coming up in November. The terrible listeners are they're getting that going. They're getting that planning. So that's gonna be fun.
We're just finalizing the games we're playing, and once we finalize the games we're playing, I can start doing all the graphics.
And Mike, Ken, I just gotta say, you both are looking beautiful. You're well lit. You're well framed. The cameras you're on are really nice, and that brings me to Alex. Hi there, Alex.
You can thank my wife for all this.
Hi.
You've had a time.
I had a time. I actually had lighting all done right.
I know. It was looking. You sent me a screenshot. I was like, "Dang, man, it's looking slick." And then best laid plans.
And then Windows does one of those mandatory background updates that the people have been complaining about for the last year or two.
Yeah.
They push out that you cannot cancel. And completely broke support.
I'm an outlier. I've had Windows 10 for ages. I've never had any of these issues, but
well,
I believe you. I believe you. But
yeah, this is a brand new build, but it broke chipset support for USB support for this particular webcam on this particular build. Yeah, because of course.
Of course it did.
So I had to grab an old laptop and basically set it up in the place where my computer would be, and had to grab a USB audio card because I didn't realize that my headphone jack is broken on this laptop.
Oh.
And
you've been having a time.
We are good to go, though.
So it's important that your character is not the tech support of this group. You're just here to make the flashy go bang bang.
Exactly.
We sent our tech support to the
Parts Unknown.
We already sent her.
Yeah,
to Parts Unknown.
I think we sent them onto a ferry to go handle this. Here, let me catch you up. Ken, you wrote this for me. I'm going to read this for you. Previously on the Cambridge Chronicles, cue the music that I don't have because I don't have the soundboard yet in front of me that I wish I did. Our plan concocting Shadowrunners continued in their newly endless... Oh, let me read that again. Our plan concocting Shadowrunners continued in their nearly endless... Will they, won't they plan to double-cross their employer? who they now know as a higher up connected to the Yakuza, with their employer's daughter Makoto. It was last week where our dear runners finally put their last piece of their puzzle in place by bringing Makoto's boyfriend biker gang into the mix, with their assistant. Boyfriend biker gang is kind of like boyfriend dungeon. I kind of like this. Anyway, with their assistants acquiring and their necessary contacts, contacted our party splits up to perform. I should have done an edit on this. With their
Yeah,
assistants
sorry.
acquired and their necessary contacts contacted, comma, our party splits up to perform their tasks. Our corporate mage Cadence and street samurai Selena go hunting for some teeth by Cadence's corporate contact Barry. That's right, I needed to get some teeth in order to help. Well, I didn't need to get teeth to help Barry. Barry needed someone roughed up to help him with the election. And meanwhile, while we're on the way, get some teeth. Kill two birds with one stone kind of stuff. Tyler, the street mage, aims to head to the presumed drop location with members of the biker gang in order to ready the scene of the illusion. Now, with the scene set, our runners make their final plans to bamboozle the Yakuza. Will they succeed? Will something go wrong? Correction, when will something go wrong? Find out now on the Cambridge Chronicles. This is a professional live stream. That's it. You're caught up. So yeah, we're trying to get a thing going to trick the Yakuza boss who's going to pick up his daughter to make it think that she gets killed in an attack by the boyfriend biker gang who's going to have a whole if they can't have them, nobody can kind of attitude about it. And in the explosion, there'll be nothing to find except her teeth. So I need to punch some teeth out of someone and then forge them to look like Makoto's teeth. Simple, right? That's what I got a contact at Azertech for, right? As technology.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll go dig up that particular nest, and I have no problem. I absolutely no way that will onion open into a whole lot of other problems for us. Yeah, that's sort of where we're at. So anyway, that's it.
Anyway.
We're all caught up now, right? We all remember what we were doing.
Relatively.
I don't at all. I never do. Mike, I'll let you. Where do we want to start? Where does our camera pan back down into the city tonight?
Okay, so you have approximately half a day to a day to get things figured out before Makoto's father plane lands at Billy Bishop Airport at 11 o'clock on Sunday night. It is currently Saturday afternoon. So, you said you need to contact your Technology rep. We'll call him.
Well, after I get the teeth.
After you get
First,
the teeth.
because I've already they're snowballing into each other. I contacted Barry, the city councilor, and when Barry and I had that conversation, Barry let me know I'll help you out with the getting your friends in, which are actually the terrible listeners who aren't here tonight, on the staff of the ferry, right? So that they're going to be working on the Toronto Island, so they're able to get what we need for this magic trick there. He can help us get onto Billy Bishop into the airport and get those jobs and those papers and all that, but he's got this election coming up and his constituencies need him to represent their needs and not this other schmo who's running against him. So I'm to go over there and make it, not worth his while to continue his candidacy. He is going to back out of the race, and he's going to throw his support behind Barry. And if I happen to get some teeth along the way, excellent.
Okay.
I think that was that it? Am I all caught up? Is that
Yeah,
was that
that's
the plan?
about it.
I know it was about it.
Yeah,
It's a
sounds
terrible
about right.
plan. It's a terrible plan.
Did Barry give you a name for his opponent? I don't think so.
I've got
No,
this
I don't
crazy
think
list of everything Barry's ever told me. I don't think so.
Okay, so the person who's running
He
against...
might wire that to me, but it's not too hard to find out who's running against you in a public election.
Yeah, so the person who's currently running against him in his particular ward is someone named Jim Bell. He's a ultra liberal. He wants very much to be free of corporate control and control back to the people. Very much people like him. They really like he has new radical ideas that don't necessarily involve corporate interference or interference from the government interests, which may in fact be fueled by corporate concerns. So people really very much want him on Toronto City Council so they have a voice.
Well, it's
So
cute that he
they
thinks
can-
he can make a difference, but the only thing that can make a difference is having the right person at council, and I don't feel like making a new contact. I've already got one.
Okay, so how do you plan to go after Mr. Bell?
Who was I going off with? I was going with Selena, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, Selena, this is really your line of work. How would you go about roughing up a election of someone running for office? I was thinking we would just go right to their office, kick the doors down,
Yeah.
and scare the crap out
That's
of them.
about it.
Make it
Yep, that's
messy,
about
make it public, make it feel like, we would attack them in broad daylight even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
so
about right.
so he'd have a constituency. He'd have like an election campaign office where he'd be there with the other volunteers and that, making the robocalls and getting the flyers ready if there's even flyers in this era. But some things don't change. There's nothing like boots on the ground to get the word out. I have a feeling in Shadowrun voting turnout is notoriously low because who would see it as being any point at all? Most people are completely unaware that there even are elected officials in this world run by corporations. So it makes his job a little easier. It doesn't have as many people to reach out to in terms of people who are actually intending to vote.
In the future, you can electronic vote, but matrix voting is notoriously unreliable.
Mm-hmm.
So there's constant investigations into. whether the
Oh,
votes are
no.
even
So he'd have a
legitimate.
bunch of, computer nerds there.
Deckers
Deckers and
whatnot,
stuff that are, counter-hacking the other counter-hacking counter-hackers.
Yep.
Excellent.
yes.
So basically, the only people that vote are people born around our actual time, but we're in our 80s or 90s.
Well, that's
then.
wonderful then. If I happen to use confusion, that won't affect any electronic means. So if there's any recording going on, they won't see anything. They'll just only see what I want Jim Bell to see.
So you go down to Jim Bell's office, which is located in a kind of middle class kind of neighborhood, sort of the mom and pop shops beside it, like convenience stores.
Yeah, mom
and
pop
real estate
whore.
offices. So you go down there, and it's actually one of those days where they're having a come in and meet the candidate, coffee with the candidate sort of thing. So they're outside having a barbecue.
I do like
There's
coffee.
There's a bouncy castle for the kids. It's a party, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't exactly stick out here. You rather blend in.
Oh, just another
That's always good.
concerned citizen looking out for the future of this city.
So as you approach Jim Bell's office, like I said, you see people manning the barbecue, handing out paper flyers and pamphlets and whatnot. There's people holding signs saying Bell for change, stuff like that. Bell is a person, they're probably in their early 50s.
You can ring my bell.
He's a black fellow, and his campaign posters are very reminiscent of Obama, sort of that hope and change sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, they like him. Elves and
How
dwarves are out
naive.
there. He has the metahuman vote.
Oh,
So that's what he's
no.
hoping will
Well.
change things. So,
Doesn't matter because
What
he
are
doesn't
you
have the
gonna do?
corporate vote.
that's
Yeah.
right. 'cause
That's
money
the
and
only vote
beauty
that
change
matters.
everything. So, as you approach his office, things seem quiet. People are out on the street talking. Their traffic is relatively slow. It's only down to one lane. What are you guys going to do?
I'm kicking the door.
He's kicking the
Okay.
door.
All right, so you walk up to Bell's campaign office door. You kick it straight open. Everybody in the crowd stops and looks at you. They're like, "What's the elf lady doing?"
Is Jim Bell around?
"Yeah, he's back in the office meeting with people."
Well, we're going to go right to the office. Catch them all off
"Okay."
guard before they can react.
Okay,
Yep.
you breeze past a couple people. You make your way inside.
I'll grab a hot dog along the way,
All right.
off of one of the plates. Just, I'm gonna sit back and eat while I watch Selena going before I call off the attack dog.
All right. All right. So all this happens. The campaign staff is completely caught off guard. You see what would be technically Jim Bell's security detail, which is an older gentleman in his 60s with a holstered revolver, just kind of sitting by the door. He looks like your standard rent-a-cop.
Yep.
Even has the little cap on, and he's like, "Can I help you? Can I help you too?"
We're gonna ignore him, right?
Yep. I'm
All
just
right.
gonna walk forward.
All right, you push
And
past
if
the guard.
Yep.
He doesn't even attempt to stop you because he doesn't know what to say or do. This is way above his.
He's not
pay grade.
being paid enough to care about this part.
So you burst into Jim Bell's office. He's sitting behind his desk having a coffee, and he sees you enter his office rather aggressively. He sets down his cup of soy calf coffee. He looks at you. He goes, "Can I help you too?"
Take the coffee, smash the cup, grab him by the collar, put the fragment of the cup, because I'm holding the handle, right to his face and go, "Hi."
Roll intimidation.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for target
What's my
number 4.
Okay. 3 successes.
Okay, he's going to roll to resist. Which he does.
Oh, he's a
He
tough
looks-
nut.
He looks you back in the eye and goes, "I seem to see we have a problem."
Yes.
Mr. Bell, it's so nice to finally meet you. I have wanted to come by and give my regards and wish you well on this election, although it is unfortunate that you are having to back out so soon before the votes can be cast.
He looks over at you as he's being held by Selena. And what would ever give you that idea? I stand for change. I stand to make Toronto a better place. What makes you think you and your hired elf slitch here think that you can possibly get me to drop out?
Oh, we can't change what you stand for. We probably could change about you standing at all, though.
He looks at you. He kind of has a sly grin. He says, "You think you're the first people that have come into my campaign office to try and rough me up? Take
Oh.
your best shot, kid."
It's like, we're not here to try and rough you up. Take your best shot, Selena.
All right. Unarmed combat, I'm assuming.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna pull 2 out of my combat pool there.
Okay.
Target 4, I'm assuming.
5.
5. That would be 4 successes.
4 successes. All right. He's going to try and resist, which he loses. Ooh. Let's see. So that kills one of the. Yeah. All right. So what do you want to do to him? He rolled a couple of 1s. So.
I'm gonna literally punch his kneecaps out.
Okay. So you
Oh,
take
dear.
your. Do you have cyber arms or anything like that? Or spurs or anything?
No, I'm literally
All natural?
all natural.
Okay, so you punched at his kneecaps. What is your strength?
My strength is a 6.
Okay, so you're dealing 6L damage to him, so he's going to resist. So let me see how many successes you get. Your strength is 6, you said?
Yes.
Okay, so that kills that success. Alright, so you do significant stun damage to him. As you punch at his kneecaps, he falls to his knees, grasping at them. He's obviously hurting, but his resolve seems fairly solid. He's like, "Is that all you got, punk?"
She takes out her. She literally takes out, activates her retractable hand razors. No.
He goes, all right.
I'm looking up again where those confusion spells are.
As you say that, he's going to try and attack you, Selena.
Okay.
You need to resist 5 successes, target number 5, with your
And what?
armed combat.
Armed combat. All right. I'm gonna take 2 from my combat pool again. That. What was the target?
5.
5. I've got 4.
Okay, so how many successes did I say he got again? Sorry, 5.
Sure.
Ties go
Yeah.
to ties go to the defender.
I think you said 5. Yeah. So.
Okay, so he got it. Okay,
Yep.
so as you flick out your hand razors, he rises up. He gets up from his knees unnaturally quick,
Mm-hmm.
and you see him. He has an obvious cyber arm, and a spur shoots out of it as he tries to uppercut you. He catches you in the chin. It doesn't pierce your skull. It just narrowly misses you. It still does damage. So take 4 M damage, physical.
All right. Okay.
Because this is your head, you don't have armor on it. So.
Right. All right.
Okay, so what are you gonna do, Cadence? You see these two fighting it out,
Mm-hmm.
and he seems unnaturally quick for an old man.
Oh, he does. It doesn't matter if we win or lose this. If he ends up taking it out, one thing I do want to do is start trashing the room and putting a symbol of a gang to make it look like we're not working for Barry so much as you said he was real strong in the meta-human community, right?
Yeah. So if you were to look like, say, the Humanist Poly Club, which
Yeah.
is a human supremacist group.
Well,
then yes.
no, well, we do have an elf leading the way. I'm actually trying to stoke fears of the meta community itself turning on Barry. So not the humanist version, but the meta version of that gang. And I don't have that written here. I seem to have the Roadhogs
gang,
and a 6.
the gang that Selena's a part of, or at least has friendly ties to, is called the Queen Street Cutters, or sorry, the Queen's Park Cutters, which is an all elf girl gang. So
Well, I
they
don't
might
wanna-
have a problem with.
I don't want
they
to
might have a
throw. I don't want to
problem
throw
with
that under the
elf.
bus. Cause I was looking at confusion. Confusion's an area effects spell.
Ooh, I know what you could do. In universe,
Yeah.
there is an elven nation known as the Tir Tangier, which is on the west coast of the United States. They're an independent elven nation. And the elves out there are not afraid to make themselves known that they are better than you.
Yeah, it's all about this, Barry. You want the metahuman vote. You are going to back out of this, and you are going to support a metahuman themselves. And then I'm going to throw... So confusion fills the affected area, making it a place of shifting and dazzling lights. Those who fail to resist suffer distraction for every 2 successes. So this is something I'm going to do when it's time to leave the room.
Right.
Selena, do we have his teeth yet?
Give me 1 sec.
So as I'm doing this, I'm going around the room. I'm looking if there's like anything else in here, but mostly it's going to be spraying the nation, the elven nation you just mentioned, onto the
Tir
wall,
Tangier.
and telling him this as Selena just continues to fight around. Like Cadence doesn't get his hands dirty in this, but when we're ready to go, I'm also preparing mentally to cast confusion into the room, which is just going to give us the distraction we need to then just walk back out, finish eating my hot dog, and disappear out into the crowd.
Yep. All right.
All right.
So some unarmed combat here.
Don't hold back, Selena.
Target number 5, I'm assuming.
Yes, because now he's actively engaging you, and he has a cyber spur out.
Yeah, and I took 2 from my combat pool, and that is 5 successes.
Okay, so he's going to try and resist you. So target number 5 for me too. To which, how many successes did you get?
5.
He got none because he got 2 1s. So what do you want to have happen?
I'm literally gonna punch the crap out of his face so his teeth fall out.
Okay, so he's resisting, obviously. So your strength is 6.
It's really barbaric, but we do need those teeth.
And you
Yep.
have hand razor, so that adds a +1, plus light physical damage. Yeah, it happens. So you've now moved him out of stun damage in the physical damage, and you punch him. Your hand razor's cut across his face, and his head slams off the desk as he falls down to the floor. Obviously, more beat up than he was previously. Now he's going to try and stand up again. You notice he's moving unusually quick for a guy his size and age.
I'm gonna
He's
just use my I'm gonna use my biology skill in order
Okay.
to generally find a good weak point of his and attack it. So
Okay.
first I'm gonna roll biology.
Well, he gets to attack first.
It's his turn. I'm going to
Yeah,
take
it's
the napkin from my hot dog, and I'm going to scoop the teeth up into them.
Okay. All right. Roll me defense, Selena. Target number 5.
All right.
It really would have been a lot
you-
simpler if we'd gone for hands instead of teeth, I realize. But
I got 3.
Okay, you managed to defend off his attack. He's slashing with his cyber spur in his right arm, and he just completely whiffs past you.
you don't understand.
All right.
Here in the apartment, we have a dozen, 14 of these little rubber hands.
Yeah, I saw on Bree's Insta.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
I could just start a stream with it like the Pale Man from Pan's Labyrinth, but 14 hands and 14 hands with eyes.
Oh god.
And I know everybody thinks she's gonna do like the one character from My Hero, but it would be funny if she did something completely different.
Oh yeah, just completely out of left field. Whatever character you think it is, it's not.
Yeah,
It
probably
totally
not.
is. Of course it is.
All right, I'm gonna roll my biology here. Target number 5, I'm assuming.
No, I'll
4?
say 4. Yeah.
Okay,
So what
that's
specifically are you looking for?
I'm looking for a good place to stick a knife in him.
Looking for a
Well,
gap in his armor.
That will hinder him completely immobile for a bit.
Just looking to
Um,
stun him for a round.
If you want to punch him in the solar plexus, that would work. That tends to knock the wind out of most people.
Mm.
So right in the center of mass, right there.
He's upgraded his limbs, but not his
Yep.
center mass.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got the
All
same
right.
lungs as everyone else.
So some unarmed combat. Taking 2 from my pool.
And I'll say it's target number 4 because he is wounded.
That is 6 successes.
Okay, so he's knocked on the ground going gasping and wheezing, grasping at his chest. His spur retracts back into his cyber arm,
Mm-hmm.
and he's at your mercy.
So how many teeth do I have?
You have 3.
Okay. I'm going to throw confusion into this room.
Okay.
And while he's
you don't even have to roll for it.
and while the distraction of the confusion is happening, I want to straddle him and pull out a few more until we've got a bigger collection. I really want
Okay.
Selena to be like, "Oh no, I'm the good guy." Out of this. And Cadence is just going to be quite calm about it, going, "This is really unfortunate and painful, but consider it a mercy to what we could have been doing. We could have been looking for fingerprints."
So the scene fades to black.
Yeah,
as you-
yeah, we'll fade out. Anyone who enters the room would also be affected because the confusion is an area of effect. So they would just be pulled into a shifting world. It would be kind of like Mysterio in the
Spider-Man
last
Far From
Spider-Man
Home.
movie. Yeah, you just end
Yeah.
up falling into these illusions and you just would have no idea what's going on. It's just going to be a bad dream, Bill, when you wake up. It's just going to be a real bad dream, Mr. Bell. And good luck with that speech tomorrow. I'm sure you'll be able to whistle a good tune and then we'll fade out. Alex, what are you doing during all this? I hope it's better because we're the bad guys now.
You beat up an old man.
I was gonna say, like, you just is that like elder abuse or what's going on?
I mean, it's getting a job done.
Yeah.
Barry's gonna, and
Okay, fair enough.
he's not gonna be thankful that he asked me to help him with anything, and that'll teach him a lesson.
So as we left off last time, I was being sent to sort of basically set up
Billy
the
Bishop Airport hangar.
set up a show right in there. Is that what we were doing?
Pretty much.
Yeah, you were.
Okay.
We're
So-
getting the evidence left over, but you're prepping
For sort of a
the.
Yeah,
you're blocking things out.
yeah. So because
Barry's gotten you a
And
jumpsuit and papers. You work at the airport now, or at
Oh,
least that's what he offered us.
that's
for us
right,
to go do
working.
this.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm
And whoever was with us last week,
the real question is
they are.
so I'm wearing like the jumpsuits, I guess the monkey suit that they all wear at the
Big overalls.
the
Yeah.
big overalls.
yeah.
But the question is, do I still have the cape on?
Not if you want to blend in.
Well, this is the future.
I mean,
right?
it works for Lando.
You know what I mean? I have one that's the same color as the overalls, so it matches. Like it's like a denim.
It's like
It's a heavy cotton /
Yeah.
denim blend.
it's your cultural item. It's like
yeah.
Worf and the sash.
And it's just like they're not supposed to ask because they don't know. Like they might go, is he special needs or something? They're not allowed to ask that. So they just know that I showed up with the cape on and nobody said anything.
What a progressive future world this world is.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right.
So yes,
All right, Tyler.
so picture
what are
that
you gonna do?
onesie with that. I was gonna say, so we're trying to basically set a meet at the hangar. So
So you have arrived at Toronto Billy Bishop Airport. You know, hangar number 5 has been scheduled for Shinji Lee. He is Makoto's father. All you know is the flight is inbound from Japan. It's expected to have ground crew ready at 10 o'clock. The flight should land at 11 on Sunday night. Security
and I've
detail
already
has
been
not
secured
yet-
papers for working that shift.
Yes, you've been assigned to help prep the hangar in ahead of this. There have been no special requests other than that the hangar is locked up, secure, and that Mr. Lee's men are allowed to be on site at 9 p.m. that night.
Okay, because we want them to think everything is completely normal, right?
Yes, and it's
So I
only
should.
Saturday
So
afternoon.
I shouldn't. Yeah, it's only Saturday afternoon.
and our Cyber Robert, who was on last.
He's running the
last
ferry.
Time he's also
okay.
he was also doing our tech.
Yeah.
So he was messing with the cameras.
Yeah,
and
you've
making
got
sure
you've
that
got a
was
little
ready
bit of
to go.
assistance there as well to kind of prep the scene.
Yeah, so you can tell me whatever
Okay.
her character.
'Cause
Alicia was the character, or what was it again?
I think it was Michelle.
I had a second piece of paper that I
The
lost.
name kept changing, so
Yeah, because her name was never truly known. So you may know her as something else.
it's that one.
Pawn
I'll refer
to
her-
Queen.
Pawn to Queen.
I'll refer to her.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Well, let's call her Queen.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, yeah, Queenie,
Ponty
whatever.
Queen.
Yeah.
So I'm just sort of struggling to figure out what I'm supposed to actually be doing.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything to do in this scene? Like Mike, it's up to you if you want to. Like,
Yeah,
we don't.
yeah,
It's
like
a
I'm-
little boring. We can cut to the
I'm
action
not
if
setting
we've
up-
got a
I was
plan. A game I recently played, Zombie World, has a really fun way of handling a plan where we set up what our plan's going to be, and then we just cut to the moment things go wrong. So
because
Okay.
I have the ability
Well,
to.
it's up
Look
to
at it
you
this way.
how you want to do, but I can hear how
Is there
Alex-
anything special you'd want to set up? Like maybe you want hidden weapons.
Oh,
smoke
see,
bomb.
because again, my specialty is entertainment / chaos. So what I was thinking was, okay. So there's a bunch of ground crew and other people, regular security. I don't want to mess with any of his hired guns or anybody yet because we want them not to suspect anything.
Mhm.
That being said, I was just trying to figure out a way to sort of control the other variables of the rest of the staff. So
You
I
have
was-
access to tech, which means Queen can redirect people away from this hangar. She can't openly say do not come near this hangar, but she can redirect work assignments, etc. So if you want to
Okay.
do that you can do.
Well, I was going to try to gather. I'm going to gather the rest of the staff. I guess for us. Can I have? So you've made Queen the like an NPC this time,
Yeah,
right?
basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretend that I'm
Okay.
Queen.
Okay. So I'm going to ask Queen. Tyler asked Queen if we could have a company-wide, or not company-wide, a shift memo sent out saying to go to the staff room. There's so Jim Bob is retiring, and we're cake will be served.
She's like, yeah, that shouldn't be too big a problem. It's gonna look a little weird at night, but the night shift guys don't have a lot to do anyway. So
That's what I figured. Just get them all in there, and so they might not even know who Jim Bob is. He's from the day shift, but he wanted everybody to come in.
So they're like, yeah, that shouldn't be the problem. I can redirect some resources there. I'll even order pizza.
Okay, because I want to get them all in one room and then just find a way to cast an illusion over
the whole group of crew.
over the whole group of crew, so that
Queen says they
so
may not even be necessary if we change the work assignments and the routes.
No, I
your area
have
should
an
be pretty
idea.
quiet. Okay.
No, I have an idea. Okay. So I guess we're all gathered together then.
Yep.
Yes, you
and-
guys are all
Yeah, so I'm assuming some people are wondering there, so they're all whispering to each other, who's Jim Bob? Who's this? But they don't care because Cake's there, right?
yeah, cake and pizza.
So-
It's cake, free cake.
Let me think here. See, what I'm just debating on is Chaotic World will rip their minds apart, and I don't necessarily want to completely destroy their minds.
Plus, also don't forget, because you don't have a strong willpower, you're a glass cannon. You hit hard, but you
True.
can blow yourself up.
True. I'm going to use my entertainment spell to sort of be like an MC for the event, and what I'd like to do is explain. Jim Bob couldn't be here because he was day shift, but I'm taking over his managerial role. I'm trying to convince them to hand me the keys, so that basically
Okay.
I'm the shift manager, so that I don't need to have an electronic trail showing that people's assignments were changed. I can just manually tell people, be like, hey, you're working over here tonight, or could you go do this? That way, there's no trace of anything happening, and it's all sort of in their mind.
Well, you wouldn't need to use a spell for this. You could just use a charisma roll.
Oh, which
Just
my charisma's really good. My charisma's
roll
friggin'
play
awesome.
out.
Roller.
all right. So let's roll that. So I got 6 there. So that's 6 dice.
Okay. So you've got people gathered in the staff room, and they're just sort of looking at you. Make your
Okay.
speech.
Okay, I was gonna say, would you know what my target is for?
I'll say target number 5, because you are asking them to believe something pretty out there.
Okay, that's 3 successes out of
They
out of
only
6.
got 2. So
Okay.
Okay. So what do you tell them?
Hi, everybody. We're all gathered here. We all wanted to wish Jim Bob a fantastic retirement. You might not have seen him much. He was the mid-morning shift manager 3 times a month. As he got older, he wasn't really doing as much. But I've been brought in to sort of take over, and I'm going to be working the night shift to start so that we can ramp up, because obviously, as everybody knows here, this guy knows it's not quite as busy as it is during the day. So the only thing is, I just noticed they forgot to give me the manager's card key. So would the shift supervisor step forward?
One of the guys steps forward. You see him written on his thing. It says, trying to think of a name for him.
Roberto.
Roberto. So Mr. Roberto Riviera steps forward and hands you a whole stack of key cards, which are all attached on a key ring. He's like, yeah, I've got all the managers' locks, all the staff locks. They're all labeled here. They're all different kind of mag locks, so you should be able to get in almost anywhere here. Just make sure you log what doors you go through anytime past 9 o'clock. It's just how we do things around here, but you
All
know
right.
that already.
I say sounds good, and just know that the higher ups, want me to make some tests and changes. We might be shifting people around a little bit. I know it's going to be a bit of a hassle, but the idea is they want to see if I can make things more efficient. So just play along with it. You might have to do some work that you don't normally do, But think of it as an exciting, fun adventure night if you can.
And this is going to be on Sunday night, right? So do we still have have things all ready for Monday morning when all the international flights come in, or what's the deal?
Everything's going to be fine. They're just sort of giving us a little leeway to try this out for the next couple days.
All right, sure, boss. Whatever you say. Roberto looks back at the rest of the staff, a variety of men and women. They're all like, yeah, sure, whatever. I get paid enough new yen to care, but not enough to give a shit. If that makes any sense. So
yeah,
they're like, all right, whatever.
And as I leave, I say, hey, and I'm thinking of redesigning our shift uniforms, like the cape.
They all kind of look at you, goes, whatever floats your boat, sir. If you think it's fashionable, party on.
Because having a
And
cape
walk out.
at an airport absolutely won't go wrong when you're working around jet engines.
I'm in management. I don't necessarily work around that.
Uh-huh.
It's a managerial cape.
Yes, this is my managerial cape.
Okay.
All right, so the airport is fairly set up and ready to go unless you have any additional prep you wish to do. You can ask Queen to set up anything electronic.
Yeah, I'm realizing it might have just made more sense to just ask Makoto to get her teeth removed and then just replaced with cyber teeth.
You could have asked that.
Say, I was going to say, I don't think I could ask. Well, I mean, I could cast chaos on somebody and have them remove all of their own teeth, but
That said, I'm going to go here
that would-
to...
that would set off an alarm.
Literally, while me and Justin are at the place getting the teeth done, you just come to the thought, hold on, I could have just done this.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well,
yeah, we probably could have.
I say that as I
This
go
was more
in
fun.
and reach out on an encrypted channel to Sonia Valdez of Hazard Technology.
Yes.
Sonia Valdez is the last corporate person that I still have friendly contact with. And Sonia, I need to do a thing with a bag of teeth. I need it to look like the records of this other dental record. I need these teeth to look like those teeth. And you are exactly the kind of person that would be able to do such a thing for dear old me.
Is this person a tiefling?
Just,
A geneticist who works for Az Technology. She looks at you, hold up the bag of teeth over the video phone, and she looks visibly shocked and says, oh, God.
It's like a little dice bag. Here it is. Here it is.
So, Sonya says, Cadence, first off, that's fucked up. Yeah, I need a DNA sample. It'll pass within 75%. I mean, a closer examination will find out these aren't the person you're trying to match them to, but at casual glance, yeah, it'll pass muster.
We just needed to pass muster. Well, I won't tell you too much. I'm sure you don't want to know. 75% will do just fine, Sonia. I knew you could come through for me. And I'm sure Makoto's not going to have any issue handing over records to us.
Yeah, she says she'll need a blood sample. She'll need a sample of her teeth enamel, so she will have to see Makoto temporarily to take a sample of her teeth.
I mean, we can send you a sample, but you won't be able to see the subject, unfortunately. The time is just of the essence.
She sends you detailed instructions on how to cleanly extract it. And she goes, have it here at this drop at midnight. I'll have some of my lab guys work overnight on it. You'll have it by like 8 o'clock the next morning.
I do love you, Sonia. Thank you very much.
Let's just say you and I have to have a very long conversation after this is over.
You always say that. Oh, she's hung up. Okay.
All right.
So back to the biker bar. Makoto, need your enamel. I've got these instructions. Just deal with this.
All right. So after an hour of trying to figure out how exactly to extract it with those dental tools, you get scrapings off her teeth.
So
some
difficult because of
enamels.
those mirrors on the end. You end up going your lefts as your rights, and anyways.
It's a fun time. So after hurting her and making her gums bleed, you do get a clean sample.
Yeah, just a nice little file against the teeth. How painful can that be?
So
Everyone else is like, ugh, squick. Oh, red card. X, X, X.
everything fast forward. So it is now the next morning is now Sunday morning. Unless you want to press start,
Nah.
we can flash forward ahead to the evening.
Yep.
I'm ready.
Let's just
We're super ready.
let's go.
All right, there. So flashing forward to the evening, what time do you want it to be? Now times matter.
So this whole thing, when are they flying in?
The ground crew gets prepped at 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
The flight lands at 11.
Oh, excellent.
Queen has things set up
Mm-hmm.
so that things start to shift change around 9.
Okay.
There will be Yakuza on site around 9 to 10 p.m. getting the hangar ready,
Mm-hmm.
presumably.
And that's when the Roadhogs are going to be moving in. They're going to attack from the water.
Yes. Do you have
Okay.
any
Do
particular
we want
instructions for
Do we want any of us to be with the Roadhogs, or do we want all three of us to be on the tarmac?
I think all three of us should be on the tarmac, because if we're not, people will be.
They'll be wondering, where's the team that I originally hired? Yes, of course.
Yeah, and also I'll probably should I be in my uniform?
No, because
Yes?
that would give away
No.
everything.
No, you've set
True.
things up, and they're expecting the three
and
of
I've
us.
cleared everybody else is like doing inventory or something.
Mhm.
I've had them reassigned.
Mm-hmm. And we've got Queen handling that kind of undercoverness at the airport because they weren't part of the original hire, and yeah, we'll just we'll show up in a black paneled van, drive it up to the tarmac,
I was gonna say,
and wait for the
and
plane to land.
I've passed out like manager level card access to each of you, so that if we have to make weird escapes
A
through
quick
anywhere we have to
escape,
go,
yeah.
we can go
Mm.
through. We basically have skeleton keys that can open up anything now.
Excellent.
And it was done in a way where we didn't need to have anything that could be hacked or traced back to us. It's just,
Right.
I mean, if
They're,
we get if
they're
they- if
legit copies.
they're not even copies, they're the originals. So
Right.
if anybody gets in trouble, it's all those poor souls working there.
Oh well, that's just middle management for you.
Okay, so are you bringing Makoto with you?
Yes.
We will need the real Makoto with us, and then we need to swap around when we do some of our magic during the
Okay.
chaos of it. It's going to be close, but that's what a big explosion is for.
Okay, now, as your game master, highly suggest you use magic pools because your magic, specifically illusion magic, is highly dependent upon the amount of successes you generate, how effective it is.
Excellent. We're going to learn how magic pools work then.
Yes, we need that because I don't know. I have combat pools. I don't know about magic pool.
Your magic pool is, I think it's just your sorcery skill, but I don't
Okay.
have time to look that up right now. So know your character sheets beforehand. But that's okay. Magic is going to work like this very quickly. When you cast
Well, there's
a
nothing
spell,
mentioned about pools in the magic section. I can read all
Yeah,
I want
at
about
all.
spells.
Yeah,
Pools are this
basically-
whole other thing that I know Ken's
There
trying
is
to
a magic
explain to
pool,
us.
but there is a magic pool, but I can't remember what particular page it's on. So magic will work like this: when you cast a spell, sorcery. Then what the force of the spell is, will add dice on top of that.
Sorcery's
And
not
then-
part of our sheets.
I have sorcery. I've got sorcery 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? I have magic. Is it the same thing?
I have
No.
magic is one of my attributes. Sorcery is a skill.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
that's how
okay, yeah, I have
spells
it at
will
6
work.
as well. Okay, that's right. It's on
Yeah.
another part of my sheet.
And then you can add magic pool on top of that. Magic pool can also resist drain. Drain is if you cast a spell at a higher level, it will hurt you a little bit, but if you pass the drain test, then it doesn't hurt you. Basically, magic is a gun that never runs out of bullets, but if you fail a drain test, it's like running out of bullets. You may take some stun damage.
go.
The worst case scenario, you'll take physical damage, which means magic can kill you. Highly unlikely, though.
Dice pools, page 84.
Yes.
I'm running down to it now.
So, anyway, continuing along with the
Anyways.
scene. Moving along with the scene. So, what time are you arriving at Billy Bishop Airport at Hangar 5?
We want to be there after the shift change, but before anything happens, right?
So, about 9:30, give or take?
I think so.
Okay. So, you pull up in a van provided by the Roadhogs. It doesn't look too beat up. And what is the plan of attack for the Roadhogs? What do you want them to do specifically? Is there anything flashy you want them to do? Or just straight up attack the airplane and the Yakuza?
All right. Your magic pool is your sorcery skill rating plus.
No, I have my magic pools written down as a 6 bracket 8. I've got that number. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to read how it's
Okay.
actually
It's
used.
It's
It's
basically
Basically,
intelligence.
it's just a pool of extra dice that you can
Yes.
use
Yeah.
whenever you want.
so
Oh, okay,
it's
cool.
your intelligence, willpower, and magic added together, divided by 3, rounded down.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you
there's-
can add that to, and then you can add that.
So
to,
I've got 8 dice that I can add in throughout
Yep.
this.
Which is what I've been doing with my combat.
Excellent.
Yes, exactly.
Good to
So-
know. Now I've got it.
All right. So you arrive at about 9:30. You pull up to the hangar number 5. The tarmac is lit up fairly well. It's there's a light rain going on, so the tarmac's a little bit slick. You got those big overhead lights glaring down, and the hangar is fairly. It's not deserted. You still see Billy Bishop Airport staff kind of milling around, people running like fuel
Yeah,
trucks.
it's never
those,
gonna be
like,
totally
stupid stair
deserted.
cars, stuff like that. So there is some activity, but you don't see any obvious Yakuza goons. So you are the first to arrive.
Okay.
Makoto's in the back. She seems nervous.
This is going to work out. This time tomorrow, you'll be on your way to Delaware, or wherever it is you were thinking of going.
We'll head to Denver, and then we'll hopefully take.
Yeah, I knew it was a D word.
We'll hopefully head out to California Free State after this. I just hope.
Yep.
I just hope this works. You can see her. She's like I said. She's on edge.
Oh, relax, Makoto. You're about to see your father.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Dun dun dun.
So,
All right.
what are you guys gonna do? When do
We're
you want
just-
the Roadhogs to attack?
As
Wait a second, well, we
Makoto was
wanna be
making the
able-
walk across
As
the
Makoto
tarmac.
is, yeah.
Okay.
as she's
Have we ever actually seen what her father looks like?
No.
Nope.
Nope, we weren't going to.
So,
Find out when we see him.
It doesn't matter if her
Yeah.
father's actually here or not. The trick is that the
Well-
report gets back that she's gone.
I have a weird feeling.
Mm.
Well, then we'll
Yeah.
improvise. That's what
Yep.
you do best, right, street magician?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm gonna ask Makoto. What does your dad look like?
He's an old man. He's thin. He's covered in tattoos. He's missing 3 of his fingers.
He's a
Okay,
grown
so it's
man.
not what I thought, because I thought for a second maybe he was like, I don't know, a Japanese dragon or something.
He's
You
a
don't know.
human. He is a
Yeah,
human.
things happen in this world, you know.
Mm.
He does have powerful friends, however. When you
Of course
mention
he
the
does.
word dragon, her eyes kind of go a little wide at that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I've
It's
never.
It's Shadowrun. We're gonna cross a dragon no matter what.
Yeah, wouldn't that
He
be
goes-
wonderful?
He goes, I've never heard of him dealing with any of the dragons, but that's not to say that doesn't happen, though. I know he'll bring his private security detail. They're bad news. I'm a physical adept, and they can kick my ass.
Well, we're not going to be interacting with them. That's why her boyfriend's coming in with long-range weapons.
Oh, because I just want Aaron to be okay. But I trust him and Boar, so I
Yep.
couldn't ask for two better ox possibly in this world. So if you guys got it figured out and they got it figured out, what do I have to worry about, right?
Exactly.
So the clock starts ticking down. You see 2 black limousines pull up, and you see about 6 guys get out of each of them. Each of them are wearing these tailored black suits. Each of them are carrying assault rifles.
Mm-hmm.
And they start proceeding towards the hangar. One of them walks up to the your panel van
Mm-hmm.
and knocks on the window. And he says in a thick Japanese accent, "Who are you? What are you doing here?"
Well, we've been invited. This is our job. Who are you, and do you have the payment?
Payment will be handled by Mr. Lee. He will be landing in just over 15 minutes. Come
Excellent.
inside. Bring the girl with you.
Sounds good.
Okay. So, You are all proceeding inside the hangar. You enter inside. Once again, it's big, it's empty, it's lit up, very, very bright. There are some boxes and crates all scattered all over the place. You see part of a disassembled plane. And the Yakuza guards kind of take side on either side of the hangar doors. About 10 minutes later, you see the Yakuza start talking over headset radios, and the hangar doors open. It's starting to pick up a little bit of wind, a little bit of rain now, and you start to see the tarmac light up like it does in the movies, where it shows the big string of lights. And a few minutes later, a luxury jet craft lands, hits the tarmac at the end of the runway, slows down, gets taxied in, and parks just outside the hangar. Stairs are wheeled up, and you see another 4 guards exit the plane, and a small Japanese man comes out in a silvered suit.
Of course.
So he comes out, comes into the hangar, dries himself off. The Yakuza around him seem remarkably nervous. They're all human, by the way, or at least they're all human looking anyway. And, well, who's going to make the first move?
I am, because I'm actually going to roll my charisma and kind of say, welcome to the city of Toronto.
Okay.
I'm one of your hires. I'm here to hand off your daughter to you. And we're gonna roll charisma.
Here she is.
And target
Safe and
4,
sound.
I'm just assuming.
Yeah, target 4.
That is 3 successes.
Okay. Makoto's father, Shinji Lee, acknowledges you. He says in remarkably clear English, he's like, "Thank you for your welcome to your great city. I presume you have my runaway daughter?"
I walk to the side and just gesture towards her.
All right, you slide open the door of the panel van.
Mm-hmm.
Makoto gingerly steps out, looks at her father, and looks at all the guards, and she kind of whispers, "This is a bad fucking idea. We are outnumbered. I don't even think the Roadhogs can take these guys."
Steel yourself, Makoto. This was the only way.
Shinji walks slowly towards the panel van. The guards stay on either side of the door with the hands on their weapons, not on the triggers, but on them. And Makoto starts walking towards him as well. A moment or two passes. Then you hear the sound of loud, eruptive gunfire as basically the guards on either side of the hangar door get tore open by rather large machine gun fire. So
That would be from that big troll that was part of the group that had the big gun.
Boar,
Yep.
yes.
Yes.
So you just hear dun 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 dun
Oh, God.
as what is likely a Panther assault cannon firing into the hangar.
So just like liquefying them, just like tearing them to shreds.
Think like
Yeah.
Rambo.
That's when I yell,
Yep.
"It's the angry boyfriend! Make for the plane!"
Shinji grabs Makoto, dives to the pavement, and tries to shuffle her off to the side behind something.
But
The
when
guards are firing empty out. The guards are firing outside. They don't even know what they're shooting at.
So this is when I look at Tyler, and this is when I'm going to look to my magic pool, and this confusion spell is an area of effect that creates distraction. It won't affect electronic equipment, but it will throw them off so they won't be able to see or tell or what's going on. This is the moment. This is the blind spot that we're going to create in this chaos.
Yep.
While confusion is being cast is when this explosion needs to go off.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Is this
And
the
for-
time?
For
Yeah, so-
explosion,
Yeah.
did we have like? Are we looking for like a magical explosion, or are we looking for?
I mean, we could do a bit of both, but
I've got
Ideally-
the ability to do that.
Ideally, Boar will have the rocket launcher. We'll see.
Okay, so
Was that the plan? Wasn't that the plan?
Yes, that was the plan.
Yeah, I thought that was the plan.
I was gonna say
They were
I
gonna,
was more
they were gonna blow up the tarmac. They were just gonna
That's what it was,
bring
yeah.
hell to that airport.
So what happens is eventually Boar's machine gun stops, and you hear Aaron's voice coming out from across the tarmac. Give me back my girlfriend, or I start lobbing grenades.
Oh, it's a wonderful performance. Bravo.
Should we not pretend to be?
Oh,
We absolutely need to be protecting our asset. We need to be protecting our job.
Yes, and so we should be with.
So I'm gonna yell back at the
Shinji-
boyfriend.
should we-
Let her go. She doesn't even want to be with you, you brute.
And I'll run up. I'll run up to try to help shield the Shinji and his daughter there, so that it gives the illusion that we're still part of this job and we're not in cahoots.
I want to lob just like a fake power bolt off in the direction. It's gonna miss everything. It's not dealing any real. It's more of a firework.
Magic doesn't work like that.
No?
Unfortunately, you have to target something, and magic doesn't miss in Shadowrun.
So I can't target.
You could target a light and hit it with Do you have spark or anything like that?
I
got mana ball, mana bolt, and power bolt.
Power ball
power
would
bolt,
work because that attacks
that-
physical objects.
and that would also you could set it off and it would take out some of the lights and spark like crazy.
Yes, and that I'm not even gonna make you roll for because a light has no physical resistance anyway.
Yeah, wherever, whatever is closest to the boyfriend, launch it at and blow it up.
Okay, so you knock out some of the lights out on the tarmac. They're kind of flickering and sparking now.
But I use that as an opportunity to also walk away from the van and towards Shinji Lee and the airplane in an act of I'm defending you.
I'm covering both of them with my cape.
All right.
And I just pull out my hand razors and
Don't be an
prep
idiot.
for any close combat.
It was never meant to be. It could never happen.
You hear Aaron go, well, then if I can't have her, nobody can. Raid hell, boys! And you just hear stun grenades fill the hangar. Everybody roll body.
Yep.
Okay.
I was going to say, if I can't have her, no one can, was the code. That was the signal. So that's also the time where I'm going to cast Confusion. Will you let me do that before or after the stun grenades?
You can do
After
it
the
just before.
stun.
All right. So
Target
how many?
5, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay, I got one success.
4 successes.
Okay, so Alex, Tyler, you are knocked on your ass from the stun grenades. Your ears are ringing.
Which
They're
would make
basically
sense.
like flashbangs.
I was basically covering them anyway. I wasn't really defending.
Yeah. And Cadence, how many successes did you get on your spell?
Yeah, so here we are again at spells. I've got this giant magic pool that I can tap into, but what is my regular? Is it just the sorcery?
Sorcery plus
Yeah.
the force of the spell, which is
Yeah.
adding dice to it, plus magic pool if you want.
And the force of the spell. How do I increase the force of the spell?
That's your number. You can either do the number that you have beside it. Let's say I have Chaos of 4.
Yeah.
I can cast it at level 1, 2, 3, or 4, which would be 4
Yes.
dice.
Yes. So the more dice you put into it, the more powerful it is.
So let's say you got sorcery of 6 and you got a spell worth level 4. That's 10 dice plus your 8 dice. So you could do up to 18 dice.
Yes.
On
On certain spells, this could really fuck you up. But since this is
Right,
on
confusion
the
is
spell, it
3.
shouldn't
That's
hurt
the
you.
number. For
Yes.
some reason, I
So
didn't
you-
write that into the paper version.
So
All right.
basically, if I cast Chaotic World with that would be 13 dice. That's game over for pretty much everybody
Yeah.
that is in the region.
Yeah. So I have confusion 3. My sorcery is 6. So does that mean I'm already just rolling at 9?
Yes, you're already rolling
Yes.
9 dice so
1,
far.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I'm adding my force
If you
to
want to.
this. Well, I do. I want this. This needs to work.
Yes.
And I know could drain me in the process, right? Because it's
And magic pool is also used to resist drain if you wish.
yeah.
Which drain is there's a formula on the spell, and that's resisted.
We were just
by
talking
your
about
willpower.
pools, and I didn't remember how force worked. Magic in this game, yo.
It's complicated.
It's very incomprehensible. So I can see that drain is, I guess, F for force, F divided by 2. But
Yes.
how do I assign force? I just pick a number out of the air?
You can only cast it up to the level that you have. Well, for example.
Oh, okay. So I can only
Sure.
cast 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's blow it out. Let's just see what's the absolute worst that can happen. So
Exactly.
3 force. And
Okay.
and then I've also got a magic pool. Let's put 1 out of that magic pool. Let's bring that up. So that brings it up
Alright,
into
so
this.
you're rolling 10.
I'm rolling 1,
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got 12 in my hand.
Yeah.
All right.
12.
Count
Go
that
for
all
it.
up. Oh my god, this is a lot of dice.
Yep.
And I got and what kind of successes? I never get to roll because I'm
I'm
always role playing everything.
I'm looking for target number 4 right now.
Target number 4, I got
they're
1,
not
2,
expecting
3, 4, 5, 6 dice came up at 4 or higher.
Any ones?
I got some 5s here as well. Sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at 4 or higher, and I got
And-
1 dice at a 1.
Okay, so -1 success.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll for the group.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
As
So
their
that's 7
willpower.
dice.
And how many successes?
7.
7.
7.
Okay, they only rolled four successes, so you fool them.
So
What do they see?
so the stun grenades are going off, but it's going to create this Doctor Strangey kaleidoscope a bit where the effect of the grenades and the confusion being cast at the same time, it's Cadence's hope that the confusion effects on their eyes and the distraction are going to feel like, whoa, what the hell were in those grenades, yo? And so it's going to send you sensationally into a free fall. Like the ground underneath you has gone out, but everything is just lights and flashes and kaleidoscopy effects of just the whole room going double, triple, quadruple image all on top of itself. And that's when I throw the dice, the bag of teeth onto the ground.
Okay. Now I'm technically covering both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be where I cast a spell and do a switcheroo.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm going to cast Chaos, which only affects one person. It's basically Chaotic World, but contained. And because this is a high-level Yakuza guy, I want him to... He's got to really believe this is real.
Yeah.
So I am going to... sorcery 6. I'm going to use...
Glass cannon the shit out of it.
Give
Yeah, okay.
her the whole Terminator
Okay,
Judgment
so I'm
Day
casting it-
dreamscape scene.
Okay, so I'm 15 dice.
All right, roll it.
Whew.
Target number 3, because there's grenades going off everywhere. Things are massively going.
Yeah, the
in your
chaos
favor.
spell affects all of the senses, so he's gonna be able to smell Makoto.
Actually, target number 4 because you're stunned a little bit, so you are a little distracted, but you can still perform.
All right, let's roll this up.
I'm probably doing magic wrong, but you know what? It don't matter. It cool. It work.
I don't
House
think
rule the
there's
shit
a
out
way
of
to
it.
do magic right in this game.
Yeah.
Essays have been written,
Okay, so 11,
dissertations.
11 successes and no ones.
Tell me what happens.
So the vision I'm giving him is basically as I'm on the ground, I cast the spell as I briefly touch his hand to give him, to transfer it. In his vision, a grenade goes off. I get blasted off to the side. A second one goes off, and he sees Makoto vaporize and melt and burn. Think
You can
Terminator
smell
2.
and feel the heat. Yeah, the
Terminator 2 when
skeletons on the
she's-
chain
when
link
she's-
fence.
Yeah, when she's shaking on the fence, and then you see the skin go off, and the screaming, and then the
Yeah, we were
as,
both
like, all
thinking the
skin
same
burns
thing.
off. Yeah, exactly. He sees that, and then and just for a little bit extra, just goes, "Daddy," as she dies
Okay.
in front of his eyes.
Ooh. Ooh.
So you hear this guy start screaming incomprehensibly in Japanese. He's wailing and crying and yelling. The Yakuza guards are all dead.
Yeah, we need to
Um,
throw Makoto into a cargo container right now and shepherd her into another part of the airport.
Yep.
I was thinking.
So we got the key cards for.
Sweet. Part of that vision, he's seeing that. He sees it happen to her, but he also sees us burn up
Yeah.
because we do not want to just
We're
not
we're
be
as
there.
we're,
don't
we're
want
as
to.
dead as the rest of the Yakuza people that got hit.
Yeah, he sees us. He sees me blow. But basically, I'm blown away by a grenade and like assumed to be fatally dead because of what happened. And then the second one goes off and vaporizes Makoto. And what he sees is you guys just being blasted apart too. At the edge of the perimeter.
Yep.
Okay.
Because I wanted to be very clear about that we don't get to leave. And he just like, where'd they go? Why aren't they hurt?
Well, I was going to remain after Makoto got shepherded away because I still want to get paid. There's no time to think about that. I got to follow your lead now. So
Yep.
we've been vaporized in his imagination.
It wouldn't be believable. He's not. You think he was going to pay after seeing vaporized daughter?
It wasn't my
No.
fault. Anyways, all right, fine. We're leaving
Makoto's gonna pay us. That's why.
into the luggage cart.
Yep.
Okay, so you stuff Makoto. She hides in a cargo container.
This
which
thing's
is
only
the
going to
other
last
way.
for duration 5. I don't know how long that is. That doesn't sound
Not
very
long at all.
I was going to say, how long is my vision going to last? Because that was pretty successful.
A couple of minutes.
Chaos is sustained. The duration. Oh, and so is confusion. Sorry, that's not 5. It was an S.
So as long as we're within the realm, within the area, within line of sight.
As long as we're concentrating on it.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna help her put.
Yeah,
get
this
in
is
the
Selena.
cargo and get the heck
We're
out.
casting spells, so.
Yep. Me and Makoto are getting the hell out.
Okay, so you grab Makoto, and you and her start kind of booking it. And where do you go?
We're going
You got the
over
key
the
cards.
boyfriend. I'm basically going through security doors and going back ways and going around in a circle to meet up with the boyfriend at the shore.
Okay, so you meet Boar and Aaron at the shore. There's a boat there with a heavy mounted machine gun. Boar goes, "Man, that was fun. We don't get a chance to wax yaks like that too often."
It's really good that Billy Bishop just recently brought in a cape-based uniform for a disguise for Makoto.
Yes,
They've all adopted the cape-based uniform.
of course.
So you
I
can wrap
spent
it
my
around
2
like a
days
cloak.
wisely.
Yes.
So Makoto gets on board with Boar and Aaron. You see the rest of the Roadhogs take off on jet skis and smaller boats out into the waters of Lake Ontario. They'll say, "I'll pay you guys. We'll meet back at the Roadhogs clubhouse, and we'll pack up.
Yep.
We'll all get paid there."
Will do.
So,
Tyler,
guys
where
gonna
did you and
follow?
I end up?
yep.
I was gonna say, well, he's gonna come to, and as soon as he'll come out of it as soon as we stop
Mm-hmm.
casting. So I say it's a good idea to catter up our clothes a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and then be like, I don't know, 60 feet away in 2 different directions.
Yeah. So cadence strips.
So yeah, and in my case, I'm tearing my cape up and singeing it a bit with a lighter or something, anything around me that and dirtying it up so that it looks like I got
Didn't you just
blasted
buy
away.
that cape? You knew you were going to be doing this.
It's a uniform cape.
All right.
The uniform gate. Yeah.
Okay, so you managed to dirty up your uniforms, your clothes rather. You're just gonna leave Shinji there in the middle of the hangar.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
pretending to be unconscious is probably the best method right now.
I'm gonna see how he resisted things. I'm gonna give him a body resist. Don't worry, he fails. He's unconscious.
And I was gonna say,
Ah.
like that's the most taxing thing that could ever happen to you.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was an emotional and physical wear on him. I probably fudged the roll, but
Did-
for
did he
dramatic
poop-
purposes,
But did he
Yeah.
poop his pants?
he
That's
didn't
the real
poop his
question.
pants, but he is a mess.
Oh, I should have got.
Oh,
15
he's going to
success.
bring vengeance upon this city.
Probably.
Yeah, we have made things so much worse. So you've got
Which
an
is why we're
employee
getting
lounge
out of
around here,
town
Tyler?
After this.
Yeah, I guess
Alright.
we should use our key cards and go in and just make a coffee.
Yeah. Yes, just a
Steal
coffee.
steal some extra cake.
Some celebratory libations. We did it.
It's probably not a good idea to check on him. Just be scarce.
No, we'll let him wake up alone, dealing with his
I'd
grief.
The teeth.
I'd get off the island if I was you.
Yeah,
That's just me
I
as your
was-
game master.
Yeah.
Take the
Yeah,
ferry
we're-
across. I know a good roadie place there on the harbor front.
Okay, so
Let's go for shawarma.
Evening passes into night. Night passes into morning. Where are you all going to meet up? Are you going to meet up at the Roadhogs kind of clubhouse?
Yep.
Okay, so you arrive at the Roadhog clubhouse, and you see the Roadhogs starting to pack things up. You see the place being assembled in the crates, being put in the U-Haul trucks. You see Boar and Aaron.
This might be a really wonderful
hugging
building
it
for
out.
us to keep after they're gone. It's a nice piece of real estate.
You see Boar
You're
look
not
at
wrong.
you. It's yours if you want it. The Yaks
You're not
will be
wrong.
looking for it, though.
That would be good. That would be good payment. Have a nice piece of headquarters.
But also this is
Yeah.
probably gonna end up being yacked all to hell.
Oh,
so
well.
we might want to just lie low. We might still own this, but we get the
I was gonna say-
Yakuza. and
We
then
could
wait
rent
till
it out. We
dies
don't have
down.
to keep it
I was gonna
ourselves.
say, how big is the property, right? Like there could be multiple buildings within the
Exactly.
property. So
We could turn it into a nice little decking farm. It'll just make its money for us.
You see Boar
Not
and
wrong.
Aaron sort of kind of hugging it out. Makoto comes out. She's now dressed rather just
Biker
ordinary.
gangish.
biker gangish, and you see her and Aaron get on a pair of Harley Scorpions. And they say, well,
Don't you two look cute together?
we got our new IDs, and as promised, she pulls out 3 cred sticks. There's 50,000 new yen on each. That's all I got.
Thank you very much.
She goes, tell the partners that we've worked with across this job they have my thanks. And should you ever find yourselves in California Free State,
We have never met if we find ourselves in California Free State. And you've never met
Correct.
us. We are never going to talk
Agreed.
again.
she has herself a good laugh. I owe you a favor if you ever find yourself out in Los Angeles.
No, you don't. Get away from here.
She revs up the engine on her bike, and her and Aaron take off. Boar looks at the rest of the trucks and goes, what the fuck are you guys looking up? Pack it up and let's go. I lead you fuckers now. And Boar and the rest of the crew pack up their trucks with their bikes and everything, and they take off. And you guys are just standing outside the warehouse with 50,000 new yen cred sticks,
And the,
unmarked,
and the
certified.
deed to some nice real estate that I'm totally going to rent
Yeah.
off for a porn parlor. I mean,
And-
for
so-
an
so- so-
illegal
so wait,
robo-calling election rigging
No,
Decker clinic.
We share the building, so you have a porn parlor, and then I have like in the same building in another room. It's like a children's public access television show where
That's wrong, Tyler. That's just terrible. What are you doing? This building is 18 plus.
except for this room, this is the daycare room where I entertain the kids.
No.
As
You're a
you guys-
monster. Camera
As you're
pans
all-
out as the sun is rising on the new city, and we're back to bickering again.
And just as things begin to fade out, you all get a phone call from good old Spaghetti.
Yep.
What the fuck happened?
How did
End
you get?
scene.
Doesn't he think we're dead?
How'd you get the? Yeah.
He's gonna try calling you in case. People fake their deaths all the time.
That's true.
But that's
Like,
all he
yeah,
picks up is just, what the fuck?
I mean, he would figure out by now that this has
Yeah.
Chaos Mage written all over it.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you get? You got 2 mages on a single job with 1 samurai. Like, it's just going to go this way. That's just math. That's just Shadowrun magic math.
That's whiz.
Incomprehensible Shadowrun magic math.
And I could just imagine like us turning on like 24-hour news streams, and it's just an international incident happened, and you see it like fading out, and it's just incoherent, Japanese screaming in the interviews.
Oh yeah. Look at it this way. You've definitely made CP24 today, as there was quote unquote a gang-related incident at Billy
Gang
Bishop
warfare
Airport.
at the airport.
literally, a whole week of chaos in the city of Toronto.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it started with a school shooting at the U of T campus and ended with a complete like warfare at the airport.
And like the little ticker on the side just says, yeah,
Local and
local sanitarium full new uptake in cases of delusions, and it's just like it's just people in straitjackets just screaming about bugs and being burning and all stuff.
Well, that's the end of this arc, I guess. This job.
Yeah.
So we've got we'll be back in 2 weeks. Alex, you're actually going to be joining me. We're going to be recording a game called Ross Rifles for a Kickstarter special. So you'll be sitting beside me when we come back to
Correct.
play. So that'll be kind of fun.
Yay.
And in terms of exactly what we're going to be doing, we could do some time passes, Mike, and maybe we come back a few months later and we got a phone call and another job to do. That's we'll see. We'll see how far this keeps going. So yeah, as I mentioned there, Alex is going to be coming back for Ross Rifles. The reason for that is Terrible Warriors starting on the 17th. So that'll be before the next time we're all back here at Twitch. Is returning to its actual play games. We're going to put the interviews back on hold for a bit. For 2 weeks, we're going to do Tuesday and Thursday releases for 3 2-week specials. So for the first 2-week special, starting on the 17th, it will be Root. It's a new game by Magpie, and it's based off of the board game, a game of might and right, where you play as woodland animals and their factions warring over the different clearings of the woodland. In the RPG, you're playing as vagabonds who are moving among the clearings and dealing with the different factions that move above them. And so that starts on the 17th for 2 weeks. Then on October 1st, we will have our 2-week Kickstarter special for Ross Rifles, which is a game by Daniel Kwan on Dundas West Games. It is an RPG about Canadian forces in France during World War I. And so that's going to be really fascinating to play out. And that Kickstarter starts in October, and so we will be releasing our episodes in conjunction with that at the same time. And then later in October, I haven't decided on the exact day, but it might be probably October 22nd. We will go into another 2-week special I've been talking about it forever, Visigoths versus Molgoths, the adventure game where you play as 16-year-old Molgoths in a mall in suburban LA in 1996, who have transported Visigoths in the 1st century to the present day, who are now trying to take over America, and they're starting with the mall. You all play as 16-year-olds, and it's a dating game. So we're going to be playing that game. We're recording that also in September. We'll be releasing the audio for that in October. So throughout September and October, we're going to have a lot. It's going to be a 2-week show, two-a-week show, and of these Kickstarter specials for Root, Ross Rifles, and Visigoths versus Molgoths. And then in November, I'm going to take a break because that's a lot, and we're going to return back to the interviews that I recorded at Gen Con and at Breakout Con, as well as I'm going to PAX Unplugged in December in Philadelphia, so I'll probably get a couple more interviews recorded then, which will be really interesting. And the new season of Terrible Warriors will be starting properly in January. And that is where we are at. So that catches y'all up here on Terrible Warriors. If you are liking this and you want to get an archive of our other streams we've been doing on Shadowrun, you have to become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/Terrible Warriors, and then you can click on that support. You can get the access to the links to the videos of these games, and that can get you all caught up for our next arc, for our next job. It'll be pretty cool. Mike and Alex, you got your Twig stuff going on still, right? You got some reviews you're working on?
Yep, I'm currently working on, this will be dated by the time this gets archived, but I'm working on Gears of War 5, and I'm watching the Stephen King miniseries The Stand from Paramount Home Entertainment, and as always, the latest news that is weird, strange, fucked up, that just happens in the world of geek, and me and Alex always have some kind of an opinion on it.
I have a lot of things to review.
A lot of things.
Yeah, and basically just a ton of reviews.
I
on
hope
the go.
none of them are a webcam review.
No, not right now. Although I should see if I can get a webcam. Stupid Logitech not working. But I got completely absorbed in Final Fantasy VIII. The one game I bought is the game I ended up getting so absorbed in that I'm like 5 reviews behind. I spent 26 hours straight playing, and I mean straight. I didn't sleep.
That's not healthy.
No, it's not.
No.
But I got sucked in. It was like I was 12 years old again.
And Ken, you got any cool things going on?
Yeah, anime podcast. This animepodcast.com is where you can find that. And then my movie podcast, it is movie-nation.com because movienation.com was taken and I'm not paying a butt ton of money to get that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where you can find me. Kent Reels pretty much everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, the works.
Well, there we go. Another stream, another job. We actually did it. We got to the end. We'll see what happens. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time on September 21st. We'll be back to do some more Shadowrun. Or maybe. I mean, we're doing Shadowrun. There's no rule saying we have to keep that. But I like what we're going. I like this group. I like these characters. I want to see what happens. I want to see what the second job is like, because that was just the first job of many.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I'm sure there's repercussions in the city, fallout of our actions. That was too easy, wasn't it?
You beat up a poor old man, and you drove a poor old man insane.
It's a good way to get us acclimated to the system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to read up on magic, but I am house ruling a lot of it.
Feel free
because
to
I wanna
kill
go-
off my character and force me to play a non-magic character. I'd be happy to return to just being the driver. I missed that. Being a rigger was a lot more fun. It made a lot more sense. Until we meet again, I've been Justin Ecock. I have been joined by, there he is, Mike is above me, and then Ken is over there in the corner, and Alex is over beside me. And you can follow us on Twitter at Dice Warriors, and we'll be back here in 2 weeks' time to play some more Twitch on Shadowrun with Cambridge Chronicles. So until then, thank you for playing with us. Thank you for being at the table. Thank you for bringing others to your table to share in your stories and your worlds of your own creation. And thank you for being terrible warriors. Until next time, be good to each other. Bye, everybody.
Bye.